Hey y'all, it's Valerie here. How you doing today? I garden in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains in Zone 6 in West Virginia. Nice to see you. Today, like always, we are just going to get on with some more chores around the farm. I'm going to be planting in these long beds behind me. Sorry if I'm a little out of it. I just woke up probably 20 minutes ago. I'm going to plant my stuff in these long beds behind me, but instead of doing them in lines or in rows like I did that mystery plant up there, I'm going to try to do them in clusters and not just straight lines, and I don't know how it'll turn out. I mean, I know I was going to plant these today because it's going to rain, and I like to plant right before it rains because I feel like my plants, especially transplants, do better. Everyone has to judge that for themselves, though, because everyone's climate and the way they get rain, the amount of rain they get, where they're laying at, whether it's a valley, what their soil's like is different. But for me personally, I like to plant right before rain or during a light rain and just let nature kind of take care of the watering for me. I guess let's just get started getting these plants in the ground. No rhyme or reason, I'm just going to try to stuff them in there. I have my wheelbarrow loaded up with these. I have to take them down there and drop them off and come back and get more plants. I have my second load here. I'm going to take it down there and then grab some compost. I do know I'm going to start with this jug of hollyhocks and put them in the center because I know they get tall. Hollyhocks can be perennial or biennial, and I'm not sure which types I have in there because some of them were from seed trade, some of them were ones I had. I do know that that's going to probably be the tallest plant that I have out here to plant, so I'm going to plant those kind of in the center and plant everything else in clusters around them. I know with winter sowing, sometimes things that normally wouldn't bloom in its first year sometimes do, but honestly, I might be waiting until next summer to see those even put out flowers. So I got this bed completely planted. I'm putting nasturtiums all around the perimeter. And there's delphinium, statice, Russian statice, linaria, fernleaf dill, delphiniums, just all kinds of stuff in here. I know it's not much to see, but it is completely full now. See, there's plants all over the place. And then I've started putting the rest of the stuff in here. And on this side, I'm just planting things in little clusters of 3. And then, I'm kind of dotting them back and forth. I'm trying not to plant in a straight line. I'm getting ready to go in and take a break, but I just wanted to show you where we are leaving off at for now. It rained yesterday, so I did not get to show you the second bed I got planted yesterday. So I'm going to kind of give you a tour of that now. While I'm down there, I also need to grab some hay for some onions. I'm going to get my wheelbarrow and we're going to get some hay and go look at these plants I planted yesterday. So I kind of already gave you a tour of the stuff I planted in this bed. And I also got this bed over here planted. But like I said, it started raining, so I didn't get to film any of it. Now I haven't planted these yet. They need weeded and all that. But I have a bunch of, let's see, there is straw flowers. There's nasturtiums. There is, let's see what this is. Another calendula. A calendula. Let's see. There's a little bit of stuff everywhere. Like that right there is a rudbeckia. It's a caramel rudbeckia. We also have Russian status. It's dramatic. It's not looking too great. I will say though that when I first opened the jug that it was winter sown in, it kind of did the same thing. It got real floppy looking. But then after a couple of days it stood back up. Some of these had root systems that were really entwined, so it's probably going to take them a little bit longer to recover. More Russian status. In this bed here, there are weeds. We didn't get it weeded all the way. Some of this stuff has just grown a little taller since yesterday and it's through the ground more. But in this bed, we planted in everything in little clusters. They're all in like little groupings. That none of them are single individual plantings, and I kind of zigzagged them back and forth. Like I'd do a cluster of, say, straw flower here. Then I'd put another one here. And then I'd put another little cluster of them here of about 3 to 4 plants each. And then I did that all the way up the bed. And if, say, I started with my straw flower here, I would start here with my calendula, and then I would come back the opposite way. And then, you know, I would just go through and fill in any gaps. So this bed is definitely going to be full once things start to grow. And also, this is another thing. You see some of these little, what looks like grass in the middle there? Those are actually gladiolus babies coming back that we didn't get completely out of the soil. So we kind of just planted around them, and we're going to continue to let them grow, and they may or may not bloom. But either way, we'll dig them up because everything else in here is an annual. So we'll dig those up at the end of the season and move those glads where we want them. There could be more coming up in random spots in this bed as well. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff, even in this bed over here, is standing back up. That for me is why I like to plant before it rains. I mean, if it's going to rain like really, really hard, you may want to hold off. We usually don't have a problem with it affecting our plants. We don't get hail very often, but we do sometimes. It's not usually a huge concern. So, and anyways, there's nothing you can do about it even if you did get hail. You just have to live with it. Yeah, that is why I like to plant out before rain, because it really waters your plants in very well for you. And it rained for several hours yesterday, and we got another round of rain this morning while I slept. We're going to walk down here and grab some hay, and I will meet you up at my onion bed. I have these onions up here that I started from seed, and I planted them in compost. And compost dries out quicker than our soil. We have heavy, wet soil. I need to get some kind of mulch around these onions so it doesn't dry out so quick, because onions aren't planted very deep, so they're closer to the surface. And I don't want to use wood chip mulch, because if it's too heavy, it can inhibit the bulbing action of the onions. So I'm just going to take this hay and lightly mulch around these onions in hopes of the compost retaining more moisture. Okay, I got hay around all the onions, and I did go in and kind of place it by hand around all of them, even the little ones. That should help them retain moisture, and I feel like they're going to be happier for it. Like I said, that compost just dries out much quicker than our soil, and because of the way I garden, I rarely water because we usually get enough rain. Therefore, mulch is absolutely 100% necessary for me. And as long as I'm diligent about getting my mulch down, I don't have to worry about water unless we're going through a drought. Alright, one more thing to show you before I kind of end this video here. We're going down here in my bottom garden. This ranunculus is getting some color to it. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. Yesterday, when I was doing all my planting and in the rain, I put these magic carpet mother of time around these little coins that we use for a walkway, and they should go in and spread and fill in around it. And if they spread too far into my bed, that's fine. I'll just treat them like a weed. Right now we're a few days before last frost, but our 10-day forecast is saying that nothing's going to be below like 55, 60 degrees in the next 10 days. So I'm probably going to start planting a couple of tomatoes around my house, because they would be easy to cover if for some reason we did have an unexpected drop. It's been so warm this season, I don't see that happening, though it's not impossible, and I know I'm taking a gamble, but it's a gamble that I'm willing to take. That's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.